Hello and welcome back. This is video 3 of our little Apex tutorial. My name is Jessica, and in this video we're going to kind of learn some of the in and outs of Apex inside an actual class. So obviously every class is different, but there are a lot of common themes for all of the classes. So I'm a math teacher, and magically I am enrolled in Algebra 1 Semester 1, which is very exciting. One of my favorite classes. I'm going to click and Apex will open a new window, and I'm going to start my math class. And of course there's a loading screen, but that is a-okay. And here we are. I am in Algebra Semester 1. So as you can see, I only have Unit 1 unlocked. So in Apex, you can only move linearly. You can't skip around. So I have to go in order. So there's a lot of different things here. The first thing to note is students really like to use this. I really like to use this, and I encourage you to use it too. The first thing I'm going to click is resources. This is something that a lot of people accidentally overlook, but there's a syllabus in here, all right? So the syllabus tells me all the point breakdown of everything in here. I get an overview of all the courses, and it tells me like which is graded because it has a score next to it. So that's kind of exciting. So that's a way to know what's graded and what's not. As you can tell, math has lots of little assignments in it. All right. I'm going to go back to previous. There's a list of key terms. This is something I really encourage you as the student to print. This is a list of all the key terms for the class. If you print it, you can have it with you when you're taking your quizzes or any exams. I think it's really, really helpful, and it's kind of just a nice resource to use. So I would definitely print that, and image credits for who needs credits for the images. Once you're in the class, this little guy, this will take you to this page. This means resources, but you can also click here and get it as well. So I'm going to go back to the home screen of Algebra 1, and I am just going to go ahead and click Start. So the Start will take you back to wherever you were. Since I haven't started, it's taking me to the home page. So again, every class, when you begin a unit, will have an overview. But on this page itself, there's a lot of different things going on. So I have a start button. That means there's a video I can watch. If I don't want to watch the video, I can click here and I can read through a transcript. So every single video in Apex, no matter what class, it will have a transcript. So if you don't like watching videos, if you're really comfortable with reading, you can read through what's going on instead, and that'll open a different window. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. In the top right, you'll see all these different things. So the print icon, right? We can print almost any page that we want. This guy is called text-to-speech.
Foundations of Algebra, transcript.
All right. So what that did is it read what was on my screen. So it read the foundations of algebra and it read the transcript. All right. Say I didn't want to watch the video, but I also really didn't want to read through this transcript either, which will load again. I can click my little text-to-speech guy, and it'll read through this.
Foundations of Algebra. This video starts with sparks flying as a piece of metal.
All right, so that's something that's embedded. Almost everything is available to text-to-speech, which is very nice, every page. So if you're somebody that really likes to listen as you're learning, you can bring headphones and do that. There's also a translate. So Spanish is like the default translate, but you can translate it to other languages depending on your needs. So that's an option for you as well. Right. So say I wanted Spanish, it looks like it translate the page. Okay. So I think you would have to do that for every page, unfortunately. But then right here, I call these like different pages. So this had page 1 of 1. So I'm going to click continue, and I got the little green checkbox. So remember when we went back to the home page, I have 20 activities. I just did 1. So me clicking continue got me this green checkbox. Yay. So now I'm going to go through the overview for 1.1. It's going to tell me different things. So again, orange means clickable. So here I have a list of key terms. This is the key terms for just the section. The one I showed you earlier has the key terms for the entire class. So however you want to organize it, when it's blue, that means you can click it and a little pop-up comes. And again, I can do this if I would like.
A number whose value
or I can read it as well. Right, and so this is all the key terms for this section. All right, so here I have some objectives of what I'm gonna do in this lesson, and I'm gonna click continue. Again, that got me the green checkbox. I still don't have a grade in this class. I haven't done an assignment, but I have the checkboxes. So that's not affecting my progress bar on that home page. Here, the studies, so every class has studies. Studies are like the equivalent of you going to class and taking notes. When you're going through a study, I highly recommend you have a piece of paper or a journal next to you and you take notes. Every study has what's called a study guide. So again, orange, it's clickable. I'm going to click it and let it load. A lot of students really like to print out the study guides and then fill them in as they go. Or you can copy and paste it into a Google Doc. But here you would have the study guides. A lot of the times they have the key terms. Some classes will list the page to find things on, others won't, so that varies by class. But a lot of it is fill in the blanks, some extra practice, things like that. And you would go through this as you're going through the study. So I would print this or have it in a Google Doc and fill it in as you go. Right? And when they say page, they're referring to this. So this study has 17 different pages. That can seem like a lot, but not everything has something to do on every page. And then there's also these. So there's a reading support, a rediscover, so it's just giving you some background information specifically for this lesson, right? So I would, as a student, I would go through every single page and kind of read through what's going on. See, again, like this is a whole page. There's not that much information on it. This one has a little bit more. This one has examples and there's a video, right? So like I can click on these and different things happen. The mathematics practice, that's just referring to the Common Core State Standards, which standards are being addressed in this lesson. And then again, a lot of these have clickables, right? So you can interact with the curriculum. And then, of course, if you want to read what's happening instead, you can click on the transcript and that'll open in a new tab. So as a student, I would go through this, right? There's some checkup problems. These, when they're in the study, they're just for your benefit. So it would tell you which one's right or wrong. There's 4 of these that I can do. So again, it's really important that you write down and take notes as you're going through, right? So a lot of this is clickable. A lot of it you're going to go through and take some notes on. You're going to have some questions to submit. But you would do this for the entire study. So I'm going to keep going through. All right, and then yeah, at the end they usually have a check for understanding. And then the last one, again, is kind of like that. So in order, so then this pops up. Once I'm at the end, it says you're at the end. Are you ready to move on? You can either say no and go back, or you can say yes. And then I got my green checkbox, okay? So that's a study. Studies are in every single class. Checkups are unique to math. So I'm going to show you this. So you would click here, right? There's nothing, I don't see anything here. That means there's a clickable. All right. The checkups are like practice problems in math. So it's going to show you questions that are similar to the quiz you're about to take. So here you have these checkup problems. So this is 10 questions. This is not graded, right? It's not on your list of assignments that you get points for, but it's important to do so that way you get feedback and you know if you're doing things correct or not. And it's a great way to practice before you take the actual quiz. And then, so what I did is there's 2 pages to this checkup. The first one, I get the blank one. The second one, I open up. Once I've done all the work, I can check for myself the answers. Okay. All right, so that's something that we're implementing this year is you can check your own work. It doesn't show you the process to it, so it's not really helpful if you're just trying to look for the answers, but it's a great resource as you go through. Like you can check as you go, like, oh, I got this one right. I didn't get this one right. I should go back and try to figure out what I'm doing. All right, so that's the checkups. Again, yes, I'm ready to move on, get my green checkbox. Here is the quiz. So quizzes, once you start a quiz, you're locked into a quiz. You can't go back and look at notes. Apex, if you log out and log back in, Apex will take you straight to the quiz again. So it always asks you if you're ready to start it. You have to actually hit the button start. And then now I'm locked into this quiz and I have to take it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take it really fast and get back to you in a second. Okay, welcome back. So I just took my quiz. You can see I barely passed it. So 60% is barely passing. If I got anything less, I would have to retake it. I'm in the red zone. But you can see if I got a 60%, I missed 4 questions, okay? So the cool thing is you can go back and look. So this one I know I got wrong. I would write that down and go back to the study and look at where they addressed it. Like, what is an irrational number? And things like that. So say I didn't get a 60, say I got below a 60, a 55, it would have me review this, and then you would have the option here to retry. So you only get one retry, and then you have to contact your educational coordinator. So before you click it, you need to go back into the study. But I get to continue. So again, I got my green checkbox, and now I have a grade for this class, but I would need to keep going, right? So I have another overview, study, checkup, quiz, and then I'll have a journal. That journal will not unlock until I take the quiz. I should not take the quiz until I read the study and do the checkup, okay? But really quickly, I'm just gonna show you back at the home page. If I refresh the page, you can now see I have a 60 in the class, and I made a little bit of progress. I almost got 2% from that one quiz. So Algebra 1 also has quite a few assignments in it, which is why it's saying I haven't made much progress in the class, right? So it's important to know, like, you have to go through and take notes. If you just go straight to the quiz, it's not gonna go very well, and then I'm gonna have to retake it. So it's almost more work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next part.